Tuesday evening to all of you. The third day of the week. So fantastic, successfully completed the third day, right? I strongly believe that you are really progressing what actually you planned for this week, already achieved the third day, right? So now some of you already have completed their work and probably now started commuting back to home. So I just want you to request you to just plug in your headsets and listen me for next 10 15 minutes, because once again I'm gonna come back. I'm coming up with one more topic which will help you to fill the gap of what people think about you and what you think about yourself, and this gap is actually the crucial gap to fill in so that you get promoted to the next level, and I want you to take the ownership of that filling the gap. Okay, so before I go into today's topic, I quickly introduce myself to everyone, those who are very new to me. So this is Tushar Chaudhary, your leadership coach, and I help mid-career, mid-senior project managers who are feeling stuck into their career right now. And they have more than 10, 12, 15, 20 years of experience. You are good in your subject, you're good in your domain, and you're done fantastic works to date. And now you are actually expecting to be grown into a leadership role, but somewhere this is not happening because people started labeling you or defining you as an operational person, because that's what you do on a daily basis. The moment you get into the office, everyone is jumping on you to have that meetings with stakeholders, deliver that report, do that review and check in, do the status updates and everything, and your calendar get filled in. Okay, that's what you do, and now you are already consuming this. So where you have time to work and beyond the projects. So people at the top ladder, leadership level, senior management, senior leadership roles, people are expecting you to go beyond project and solve bigger problems, but you cannot, because you're too busy, you're too consumed in all the things which you already doing for so many years, and because you feel comfortable there. Okay, now that's the problem, that's actually the issue. Somewhere you strongly believe that my experience will help me to go to the next level, my performance will help me to go to the next level, but that's not the truth. Okay, the people at the top ladder, they think that this is routine work you're doing, there's nothing, so you get paid for what you're doing right now. So they're not able to see you as a strategic leader. Again, I mentioned there's a perception gap between what you think and what others are thinking about you. Yeah, and I want you to own that space of filling that gap. This is where I want to help you. I create, I help you to create that ecosystem of your personal ecosystem of influence, where you operate on daily basis with your core leadership values, your core leadership strength, which you demonstrate on daily basis, and that help you to build impact, influence, and also attract opportunities from the same organization where you're working, or from the market where you're, or the industry where you are. Okay, so that's about me. Now let's go into today's topic. So what's the today's topic? So let me start with something again uncomfortable. See, experience does not automatically make you promotable. So you can have 10 years of experience, you can have strong leadership, strong technical knowledge, you have a multiple project deliveries, and you are good at it, and still somebody with less experience get promoted before you. Have you experienced this? Is it painful, right? That's a painful reality. And many professionals become frustrated here at this stage. They start saying, politics is there, my boss is actually favoring someone else, the management is biased, the hard work has no value in this company. But today I want to challenge that thinking, because many times what happens, the problem is not that you lack of experience. The problem is your lack of promotability. And today I want to talk about that difference of experience versus promotability. And trust me, this topic can completely change how you think, how you approach your career growth. Okay? Now, there's a myth, there's a career myth that most mid-career project managers they follow, they carry, they believe. They think that most years, number of years is equal to more growth. But organizations do not promote based on years of experience. They promote your future leadership confidence. They should able to see that one. Now I come to know this idea, this powerful thought when I read this book, The First 90 Days. Now this book explains something very powerful. See, leadership transitions require completely different capabilities. Meaning the skills that helped you survive the current role may not help you succeed in the next role. See, experience measures time, but promotable measures readiness. There is a simple analogy I follow here is some people say I have 10, 15 years of experience. Then then I question them. Then that's your length of experience. But then what is your length of the earning, length of maturity? Do you really think that 10, 15 years of experience is equal to 10, 15 years of maturity? Yeah. There are people who have only 5 or 6 years of experience, but they have worked in such a way, or they have worked so in depth, they have a maturity of 15 to 20 plus years of experience person. Huge difference. Yeah. Is that a bulb on for you? Yeah. Type yes in the comment section. I'll tell you one real workplace story from my project experiences. I had two professionals in my project team. The first person, 15 years of experience, technically brilliant, hardworking, dependable, but very, 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 very quiet. Only focus on what is given to him. And the second person, not less, not that experience of that first person, less experience, technically also average, but the good, the this person is actually very proactive, getting out of the seat, talking to people, connecting people, bringing them together. He would communicate with stakeholders. He will raise the risk as early as possible. He will guide the team discussions. He will think beyond his role, and first he'll take initiatives. Now, during these leadership review discussions, guess whose name came first? The second person. And that day I realized something deeply. Your experience creates your capability, but your promotability creates opportunity for you. Do you agree with me? Type yes in the comment section. And there is a leadership psychology behind this promotability, and I want you to understand this. But for that one, I want you to read this book, The Trusted Advisor. Okay, this book explains that don't promote any uh, people don't promote only competence. They promote what is their trust on you, what is your trust equity. Okay, what does that mean? So leadership asks very silently, can this person handle the pressure? Can stakeholders trust this person? Can this person influence others? Can this person represent the leadership confidently? So promotability is basically kind of a emotional confidence the top ladder people having in you, not just your technical expertise. Is that a bulb on moment for you? Now, these top ladder people, senior management, senior leadership, what actually they look into you? What are the promotability signals they observe in you? Okay, let's be practical. For last 22 plus years in corporate experience, when I was leading a high performing team or building high performing PMOs, I worked with career professionals, and I observed 5 promotability signals that the top leadership people actually observing in you. The first signal is, can you communicate under the crisis, under the uncertain situations, under the pressure situation? So do you get panic, or do you stay composed? That's the first signal. Second signal, strategic thinking. Do you think beyond the task? Where do you think be do you read between the lines? Do you think beyond the task? Third, visibility. The people who are working with you in your circle, are they really know your impact? That's the visibility. And fourth signal they're looking is ownership. Do you only assign tasks and only talk about task completions, or do you also take ownership of solving that problems proactively, even if that problem is not yours? That's called ownership. Fifth one is influence. So can you align people without authority? These signals matter massively. Now, the last one is very important, influence. Can you align people even if there is no authority? Without authority, how can you influence? These signals matter massively. Now, in today's era of intelligence, what exactly the career shift is required? Okay, let's discuss this little because it's more serious. It's more important. See, in the AI era, again, we always talk about execution work is becoming automated rapidly. AI can AI is now doing all your tracking job, your reporting, your scheduling, your analysis, right? So what now if AI is taking all of that stuff, which was actually a kind of opportunity for you to do the influence on the people, but now it's been taken by AI. So what becomes more valuable now, right now? More valuable is the human leadership capability. What does that mean? AI cannot influence. You can influence it. Human leadership capability will help you to build the trust. It will help you to build the communication. Will have a decision making, business thinking. That this is why promotability matters more than ever before. So future growth will not belong to most experienced professional. It belong to most leadership ready professional. Okay, now the question is, how can you build that leadership? How can you become that leadership ready person or professional? And I would like to share with you three practical shifts that I want you to implement straight away. Okay, the shift number one, I've seen in my 22 plus years of experience, people are just coming to office like a 9 to 5 mindset, and they're focused only to collect the experience. Okay, I want you to move from that experience collection mindset to leadership readiness mindset. Don't ask how many years do I have. Okay, ask, am I becoming the leadership ready? That changes your career direction instantly. Okay, that's the shift number one. The shift number two, again, this is a task. You Many mid-career people, they only try to show that what type of task they completed, the task visibility, but they never talk about, or they never demonstrate the business visibility. That's what actually I wanted to move. Don't only show that what work you have completed, show what exactly the impact it has created, what exactly the business value it has given, what is the stakeholder outcome you have achieved. That increases your promotability. Okay, and the third shift is those people who have this attitude of only collecting the experience or only focusing on tasks. This is actually the employee mindset. You want to see people, you are yourself as an employee. So I want you to move from that employee identity to leadership identity. See, if internally you still see yourself just an operational person or task completing person or just executor, your behavior will remain the same, right? So start asking yourself, how would leadership level professional behave here in this situation? So identity changes communication immediately. Okay. So now we're coming to the close. These are the third three shifts which I shared with you. Now we're coming close to this topic, but I want to share with you one more powerful thing is that many professionals today are frustrated. Yeah, they are frustrated because they confuse experience with promotability. They think that their experience will help them to grow to the next role, but organizations don't work like that. They don't ask how many years you work so how many years you work in this company, how who has a work longest. Okay, they don't ask like that. They ask who looks ready for solving that bigger problem, who looks ready for getting the bigger responsibility. That's the game. That's the real game. And the promotability is built through, again I shown you that told you that signals, right? The first signal is the visibility, second is how you influencing people, how you communicating and how people trusting you, and what is your leadership behavior. So tonight before you go to the bed, ask yourself this question: am I really going to office only to collect the experience, or showing the task visibility, or am I becoming promotable? Am I really having that business mindset, business leader mindset? Am I showing the business impact? That question can transform your career forever. Okay. Now, if this talk which I shared with you for last 15 minutes, if this connected with you, resonated with you, I want you to comment promote in the comment section. And in case one of you, if you are one of those mid-career professional, mid-career project manager who is struggling to go into the next level, okay, and you need to have some discussion or understand clarity, okay, you feeling stuck there, I want you to book one-to-one with me. In this one-to-one call, I will help you to identify your blind spots, identify the roadmap that you should be working on, and most importantly, why do you want to become a leader? Okay, so there's a link in the comment section. Book one-to-one slot with me, or you can go to my LinkedIn profile and book an appointment. Okay. Awesome. And there is good news also. Today at 8 p.m., once again, I'm conducting a webinar, Project Leadership Mastery. There, I'm going to teach you again a three-step influential leader blueprint where, I'm going to I'm going to teach you there how you can build your trust, which is a signal, the five signal which I mentioned, the trust, the influence, and the authority. Okay, so if you really want to learn out of that one, join my webinar today at 8 p.m. The link in the comment section again. Okay, so that's it for today. I'm going to sign off from Bangalore. This is your coach Tushar Chaudhary, and tomorrow again when I come back, I will come up with another leadership insight to help you become that influential leader and have high income also. Okay, so until that moment, implement what we learned today. Take care of yourself and God bless you.